Hey guys, I'm Ashley Bear. I'm a chef and freelance recipe developer here in Kansas City. Today we're gonna make a chicken fried steak banh mi slider with the Kansas Beef Council. I love this recipe because it's super easy. First, I'll address the flour. We have some ginger powder. We have some cinnamon, really lovely. We have some garlic powder, a bunch of garlic powder, love that. Also some onion powder. We're gonna do quite a bit of pepper. It looks a little bit hefty, but it's only gonna get a light coating on this beef, so it should be just fine. And then I have kosher salt. Kosher salt's my favorite type of salt. Love using it. I'm just gonna do a couple, 3 to 4 big pinches of salt, okay? This is really our opportunity to get a lot of flavor in the beef, so that's what we wanna do there and make this super flavorful. Just take a fork or a whisk would be great. So this is one part of our breading. Second part, really easy. We're gonna take a couple eggs. I love breaking eggs on actually a flat surface. A lot of people use the side of a bowl, but that kind of shoves the eggshell into the egg. So try and crack on a flat surface. All right, I'm gonna use a little bit of fish sauce, okay? Also very typically Vietnamese, a great flavor enhancer. It adds a lot of like umami. We're gonna whisk it up. All right, guys, now that we have our basic breading ready, it's all nice and seasoned up, it has tons of flavor, we're going to work on our steaks here, okay? We're gonna do about 8 sliders. I feel like that's a good amount for 4 people or so, 2 sliders per person, assuming there's a side. So we just need to cut them down. I kind of like a larger meat to bun ratio, so it might seem more typical to like cut these in 4, but they'll kind of shrink up as you cook them. So I like to start with a bigger kind of piece, and I actually really love like that hangover on the bun. So I'm really great with like 2 longer-ish pieces, if you will. I have a little bit of extra kosher salt here. I know that our flour and egg is really seasoned, but a little extra seasoning never hurts. We really wanna make sure everything has tons of flavor, and we're gonna season it every step here. So I'm gonna turn it over, season both sides. I'm gonna go first into the flour, okay? You wanna get a nice coating on there. And then I'm gonna go into the egg. Just kind of a quick dip. So what we're doing here is we're gonna coat our wet steak with flour so that the egg coating will stick onto the flour. And then that way, when we go back in to the flour, the dry coating will stick to the wet egg coating. That's what we have here. We have a little bit of canola oil. I'm just gonna add a little bit more oil, never hurt anything. So all I'm gonna do is put my steaks in, and you wanna leave kind of a good spacing in between them, okay? Try not to crowd the pan too much. It might seem like, oh, I can fit one more in there, but really just try to do it in a couple batches so that it doesn't end up steaming as opposed to frying them. So I think that we're ready to flip. I can see that the golden brown is kind of coming up over the edges, so that's indicating to me that they're ready to flip. So just gonna do a quick little flip. And that looks beautiful. That's exactly what we want. Cube steak cooks really quickly, so this is an awesome weeknight meal. I've had them cooking on both sides now for probably 3 minutes a side. That's really all they need. We want to cook them through, but we definitely want to be conscious of not overcooking them. So as long as you have a good brown, nice crust on both sides, I think you can go ahead and pull them off. And then once they come off, we're ready to assemble. All right, guys, we have pretty much everything we need to assemble our sliders now. The next thing we're gonna work on is our spicy aioli. Very easy to make, and it packs a punch of flavor. So we're starting with mayonnaise here, any traditional classic mayonnaise. If you're really ambitious, you could make it yourself. We have not done that today. So a little bit of mayonnaise here. We're gonna add our chili sauce. Any old chili sauce will do. Set that to the side, stir that around a little bit, although we have 2-ish more ingredients. Lime, of course, we need a little bit of acidity in here. This is just gonna brighten up our whole sandwich. We have just fried cube steak, so we need a little brightness in this, okay? This is a microplane, just rotating this lime as I scrape across the little tines of this microplane. A lot of it gets stuck on the back, so you want to be sure to tap it off. Set your lime cut side down. I talked about seasoning every step of the way. So although this has a lot of flavor, salt, we're just gonna add a little bit. It really serves to bring out all of those flavors and bring them together as well. So we're gonna slather, and I do mean slather because this aioli is very flavorful, so you wanna be sure to put a lot of it. I'm gonna take one of my, let's choose the most beautiful one, this one. I'm gonna put that on. Like I said earlier, I love that overhang, doesn't bother me at all. The other thing we have here might seem a little strange to some people, but it's actually a liver pate. It has a ton of flavor, and it's just gonna add a really nice depth and complexity to this. And it's also super traditional in Vietnamese banh mi's. If you don't wanna use it, totally understand. It's absolutely optional, but it's nice and spreadable. It just adds a lot of flavor. So I like to put a lot of everything on here. I'm gonna put a bunch of fresh mint. I like full sprigs of cilantro. I really just kind of put them on like this. If you find that strange, you can just pick the leaves off or you can chop it, but this is actually super traditional for a banh mi. I think it looks beautiful as well. Here we have some pickled carrot, which you will have the recipe for, so refer to that, but it's super easy and we'll just put it right on there. And then again, I'm a spice monster, so I'm gonna put a couple of, maybe three jalapenos on there, and then we're gonna flip it over. All right, guys, this is our banh mi. I'm really excited to eat this, and I hope you are too. For this recipe and others just like it, visit kansasbeef.org.